Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Major technical issues with this new camera setup. Apparently I can't handle doing 3 simultaneous 1920 by 1080 camera feeds at once on my machine at the moment, so I had to downgrade one of them to like 720p, and who knows, I don't know if you'll even see a difference. You might, but you can tell me if there's a major difference in resolution between this current view and this other view. This one right now is in 1920, and this one is in 720p, so yeah, annoying, but I'm sure I'll figure that out from a technical perspective. But anyway, yeah, so good to be back with people again. Just give me 1 minute here to get my chat all set up. I was rushing to get this out the door, but now we are good. So, okay, good. But yeah, so now I do have this new setup, which should be much more stable than the last one because I can't knock the camera around, and it's got 3 separate cameras to look at each part of the setup. So hopefully that'll make things a little clearer and a little easier to see what's going on. But yeah, again, I don't have a particular plan for this week. I'm still in discussions with my little friend who's working on modular stuff here in Canada to maybe get some of his modules to demo, but that's not completely worked out yet. So we're gonna do another experimental Hangout stream. Forcing, good. It's not a big difference, not just slightly fuzzier module names. Okay. You can only tell when you full screen. Okay. That's good. I'm sure I'll still figure out a way to do this. I probably just don't have enough USB bandwidth to do it. I have way too many USB things plugged into my computer at once most of the time, but there's ways around it. I've seen things, so we'll see how it goes, where it goes. All right, so I wanted to do something more with Odessa today, a bit more concentrating on Odessa. See what I can come up with. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to do was just get it out and through a simple VCA for now, and out through Rainmaker to have some nice delay. So let's do that. Oops. Apparently I can still kick the camera around. I still got to be careful because it's on a tripod. All right, so we'll go in and we'll come out to Rainmaker. And we'll come out in stereo for a change, since I've been doing that Rainmaker in mono a lot lately. Here we go. All right, I'm not going to hear much right now, obviously, because there's nothing going into the VCA. By the way, how you doing, Forrestine? CV and yeah, for a change, let's use Disting. I haven't done that in a while for anything of that sort. So let me just bring up the little manual here and find ourselves a envelope. Where is the simple ASR thing? E1, okie doke. E1 it is. And A is an envelope output and X is a trigger. Okay, so let's trigger this. Let's trigger it from marbles. Haven't done that in a while. So we'll go from, oops, this is not long enough. X here. And we'll go into just one of the triggers in marbles. Oof, without deafening ourselves preferably. Oddly not in stereo yet, but let's see if we can fix that. We are already set up to go in stereo out of Rainmaker. Let's just pick a simple preset so that it's not too much here. Odd, we are in stereo. I should be getting it duplicated across. Maybe it's just me. Doing pretty good. Yeah, we're getting autumn here too. Suddenly it's like summer decided it was over and now it's cold. All right, what am I doing wrong here? Because I'm getting nothing out of the right input. That's not right at all. That's not right at all. I'm gonna double check that I really am getting an actual ability to have a stereo signal at least. So we'll just come out of our ECA for a moment here. And we'll just override these out of into the performance mixer and just make sure. Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely Rainmaker that's being odd for some reason. Okay. Let's have another look. Hook things back up. It's been raining for days, but everything's quite green. You moved here from Calgary, you couldn't believe how great. Yeah. The prairies are just like, they like to be brown. They like to be brown. I'm glad that you caught me this week, Paul. Yeah, notifications can be a little strange sometimes on YouTube for some reason, but I'm glad that you made it. So, just trying to troubleshoot now what the heck is going on and why I'm only getting a mono signal out of Rainmaker when it should be in stereo. I wonder if I've got a dead cable. Certainly a possibility. Oh damn, I do. Yep, okay. That answers that. Dead cable. Throw it away. I really wish that modular cables weren't either so cheap that they break or like ridiculously expensive and like handcrafted, and there we go. That's more like it. Okay, this is going to be the very basics. Now I want to use Hell up here, which is, if you haven't seen my Odessa video, Hell allows you to control each of the voices of Odessa with an individual volt per octave, which is kind of cool. So I'm curious to try putting it in 3 voice mode. So this is 1 voice mode, this is 3 voice mode, this is 5 voice mode. So put it in 3 voice mode, then I can use the 3 quantized outputs from marbles. We can see what that does. Let's do that. Probably gonna need longish cables. Okay, so we're gonna take this, and this, and this, all the X outputs from marbles, and we'll go up, and we'll try, oh my goodness, you're not gonna reach, you're not gonna reach. Okay. Swapping cables. 2 longer ones. Let me know what you think about the ability to do all this camera switching now, by the way. Hopefully it's a little... Oh my goodness, this is dissonant right now. I must not have the tuning done right now. Alright, let's look at what Marbles is doing here. We are actually quite quantized right now. Turn off the lock. There we go. I think we were getting too many dissonant notes. We were in one of the chromatic modes or whatever. Now we're sort of starting to conform to a scale. My autofocus is going nuts. Oh, on this one? Oh, I know what it is. It's this giant bunch of cables right in the way, I bet. See if that makes any difference to this middle one now. Once I can get this all dialed in, I'll probably set up like static focuses because everything should remain the exact same distance. You should see this thing, guys. It's that I've set up. It's like a tripod with like all of these little mini hangy arms coming off of it. It looks like something out of Half-Life. Okay, so we're sounding a little better now. Let's maybe no, definitely want it in this mode. Mess with the spread and everything a little bit here. If I had multiple precision adders, I feel like I would take this down, all these values down like an octave. But yeah, I'd need 3 of them to do that. I definitely don't have the room. Just my hand was there. Fair enough. Alright, to make this more interesting, let's go up to Odessa here again, and let's take... We took the even partials already, let's take the odd partials. And we'll send them out as well. See what that does. We'll send those into the other side of Rainmaker. And in order to do that, we're gonna need a little jumpery cable. Hey, there's the Canadian modular manufacturer I was talking about, Mr. 256K Labs. Good to see you. Alright, let's borrow this. Snap that together. And eventually If this'll fit. Oh, you can do it. Okay. Oh, actually, what am I doing? I don't need to do that. I forgot that they're normal to each other, I think. Yeah, they are normal to each other. That's a handy feature. Okay. And I wonder about... Nah, I don't want the fundamental. Let's take the odd partials. This splits things out a little bit. I may end up running this through QPAS because I think it has some interesting stereo qualities. But let's make the delay a little more interesting first. It's already more interesting. It's a very simple ping pong, but... I'm sure I know what you're thinking. This needs reverb. We'll get reverb. Alright, but first, let's see if we can shape this sound just a little bit with QPAS. The other reason is that now I can use short cables rather than all my long cables in this setup. Okay, let's try Smile Pass because it's my favorite. Let's see what we can get. Whoa, spacey. A little too much. Alright, that's interesting. What about some other options here? Maybe a low pass. It kind of mellows it out a bit. Would be interesting with some more. That's pretty nice. I like that. Isn't the rule in Canada percentage of your modules need to be produced in Canada? You know what? If there were more Canadian manufacturers, I would be all on board with that. All on board with that. You're not getting anything out of the right channel. Oh, indeed you're not. Thanks for mentioning that. Let me see what's going on here. There we go. I think I bumped the gain at some point when I was rearranging things. Oh. The setup is so complex, it's no wonder people get paid to do this when they're doing live sound setups. Better, I think, hopefully. Might even actually be a little bit too far to one side now. Just a sec. Did I bump it again? No, we're good. Okay, so I like this, but I want some reverb. Great, glad it's better. So what do you all think? So for options for reverb, There's Typhoon. We can drop things through the RV500. Those are the options. Which one should I do? Could try the disting, yeah. Sure. All right. Let me switch the envelope off of the disting here, and I'll move it to my stages instead. Okay. So this is the trigger. Borrow that. This is the other one. Let's have a look. See what we're doing here. Oops. I'm gonna need another longer cable. 1 second. Actually, there we go, and we'll come down to the very. Oh, that's actually kind of cooler in a way. That was a neat envelope trick. The 500 thing is this puppy down here, the Boss RV500. It's a very, very nice pedal, like comparable to a Strymon Big Sky, but like with way more tweakability, which is good and bad depending on how you look at it. Like it's easy to get lost, but yeah. Maybe I'll make this a little longer. I'll play with that a bit more in a minute here. You haven't played with the clock delay on the disting. I have not either. Honestly, I have barely ever used the disting for effects, so this is a good excuse. Let's see what we got. If you don't know about this, by the way, some of you have been on this stream for a while, probably do, but this app that's called Modes, it is really nice. It gives you like a whole bunch of different modules and like basically a quick access to all of what all the different things are, and you can like sort by certain filters or filter by certain like tags. Like that's exactly what I'm gonna do here right now, is go browse by tag and look for a reverb. Makes it much easier to work with this thing if you haven't done this before. So we got a stereo reverb, a mono to stereo reverb, and a dual reverb. Well, I think I'll pick stereo reverb. So that's Lima 1. Lima 1. All right, and X and Y are the inputs, A and B are the outputs, big surprise. And then there's a bunch of parameters, so let's get it patched up first. That app is called Modes. I don't know if it's on the Android store, but it's certainly on iOS. And it has, let me just look at which modules it has. Like, it has, oh wait, there's probably more in here now. It has the Erica Synths, Black Hole DSP2, Pico Logic, Pico Seek, Disting Mk4 and 4, Shapeshifter, Morphogene, Tempi, every Mutable Instruments module ever made, pretty much. Both stock and hemisphere versions of Ornament and Crime, Tip Top Audio 1, and Whimsical Raps Just Friends and W/. So they've actually added a lot to this since the last time I looked at which modules it had. It's pretty handy. Okay, let's have another look at Lima 1 here. Just make sure I have that up still while we move on. Okay, so just pull this out of our mixer. Will you stretch far enough? Just barely. X. So that one won't. That's probably why I had a broken cable earlier, is because I'm always stretching them. I don't want to get new ones. All right, so X and Y, and then A and B are going to go out to our mixer again. Oh, is it open source? Really? Man, then I'm definitely going to have to do that, because the one complaint I've always had about it is that it doesn't seem like it's regularly updated, so like it's a little bit far behind usually in what the Disting's firmware has available. I mean, they also release things really fast, so that's good to know. I'll have to look for that. Okay, so we'll plug through the reverb now. We just need to set it up. So, let's see what we got here. This is, our Z control is wet, dry, or freeze. I think it's the typical thing with distings, which is where when you go to the left, you just get increasing wet and no dry. When you go to the right, it's a blend. So let's just go completely wet for now, just until we hear what this sounds like. And then you can press C to freeze too, which is cool. Okay, so this probably is size. Yep, size. So let's crank this, because you know we like that. I don't know exactly how much we're gonna get out of this, but let's see, is that the one? Let me make sure. I'll bring it up and make sure. Ah, it's actually kind of hard to find in the App Store now, apparently. Oh, yeah, that is the one. I guess they've changed the name of it now. But it's not... Where are you getting that it's $6? Maybe you got the wrong one. This is what it is. Make sure I got the right... This is the one. Maybe I paid for it. Oh, it's probably because I paid for it already, right? That's probably why. All right. We've got... the size up. Let's see about... Oops, feedback. Oh my goodness, I always forget how to switch parameters on the freaking Disting. Is it like a long? No, it's not a long press on Z. Must be, no, it can't be moving Z because that's... Okay, who remembers? Who remembers what the hell, how the hell you use the Disting again? How do you switch parameters in the Disting? Oh, it even has it in here. Turn the S encoder to change the currently selected parameter. Press Z on algorithms that do not have knob recording. Press and turn S. Press and turn S. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, back to the reverb. 1 second. So we already increased the size. One that we're on now, this is feedback. And then number 2 is character, which I think is like the sort of the style of reverb as I recall. not hearing a huge amount of difference actually between these. This one is maybe the most lush that I've heard, maybe, but it's hard to say. Okay, and then we got a low pass filter, which we really... I don't think I even want it on. Just turn it to -1, it turns it off. And then we got reverb gain. Not a bad idea to add a little bit. All right, let's play with the mix again. I want to play with the character again. I wasn't so sure that I actually liked that. That's pretty nice. I mean, I wasn't expecting miracles from the Disting's reverb, because it's, you know, it's pretty basic, but... You agreed to do a stream next month and said yes before you can second guess it. Now you need to get a 100-foot Ethernet cable. What sort of stream are you gonna do, and why do you need a 100-foot Ethernet cable? Let's add a little bit more variety into this. Let's get some LFO action going on QPAS. That always keeps things moving. Let's see here. We'll just use a couple of stages to do that. I might even be able to get away with a short cable. Yep. All right, so. We've already used up the first 2 slots, so we'll set the third one here into the looping green mode, which makes it into an LFO, an open LFO. And we'll shove that up here. Let's try the frequency first. Don't want to go down on that much. Let's try Freak 2, because that can be interesting. Cool. I can see using that at a later portion of something as you're building up to it, but certainly not right off the bat. Okay, we'll try one of the rotates. Could be interesting. Here's a trick I like to do with QPAS is take one signal and mult it between left and right, and just send use the attenuverter to send the negative version or the positive version as appropriate. There, that's interesting. I like that. 100-year-old apartment is a weird shape, and the room you like to play music in has like 2 outside walls messing with the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's typical, right? Old landline cable strung around a bunch of doorways. Yeah, it's true. If you do get it that long, if you do get something that long, make sure it's like a shielded Ethernet. It'll be expensive, but at that sort of length, I think Ethernet starts to have problems. Okay, I like this, and I want another. I do want to do that frequency, but just barely doing modulating it. So we'll take another one of stages. We already got one that's looping here, and we'll mess with these LFOs in a minute here too. And put it into Freak 2. Me, I wish I was based in BC. That's where I want to move eventually, but I am unfortunately based in Alberta. Land of the never-ending winter. Yeah, I've been curious about those power line adapters sometimes too, but I don't really have Wi-Fi problems in my house, so... You're right, it probably would be, but I mean also if you got a 100-year-old house, I guess the power lines could be anywhere from dubious to completely incompatible. Alright, this is turning out very nice. I like this. What I want to do now is get a nice bass drone going underneath this. I think that would be good because we're really in the high registers right now. And I don't feel like I need to cut much. Maybe. Wow, yeah, no kidding. That's old school 14Gs. Okay, so for a bass, let's try, because sometimes I got some good results out of it. Let's try the little trick with rings where you put its dampening all the way up to max. So, let's see here. I think I will take a very long cable and we'll go from, we were already using Tetrapad last week as a keyboard, so we'll use it again. We'll take that up into per octave rings. And we also need a strum as well. That will also come from Tetrapads. One of its gates, I think. Or triggers, actually. And we'll go to strum. Though we may not need it. We'll have to see. Let's just see what we can make of this. It might not be exactly what I'm looking for yet, but... certainly needs to be. There. Oh, that's what I wanted. I don't think it's necessarily in key here, but... also make it single voice mode. Sounds a little out of tune. Oh, we're in Aeolian mode. One sec, so we'll switch this up. No, we still want notes. We just want to change the scale to probably chromatic. Almost sounds right, but it shouldn't be because it's in the key of C, so I think that my rings needs some tuning, because this is actually playing a C, and that doesn't sound right. But I'm also concerned it doesn't seem to be tracking volt per octave, because C, D flat, and D all sound the same. Let's just pitch this up and make sure. Okay. Must be too low for it to be tracking volt per octave. Went a little dour. Definitely something's out of tune here. And it works nicely with what Tetrapad thinks is an F. It is not untunable. It is not. There is a, if you Google Light Bath's ring tuning method, he has this little Google Doc that he wrote up. I think I've shared it a couple times before, and I'll see if I can put it in a link on this video for people who are watching later, but he talks about a method for tuning it that actually works pretty much foolproof. There's a specific bunch of settings that if you turn all the knobs right on rings, you can get a pretty clean sine wave out of it to tune against, which is so that you don't have to, you know, tune it to something else or whatever. So that's with dampening already cranked, so it will eventually die out. It might actually help now to put it in multiple voice mode. Make it too loud. Never mind. Still not quite in tune. Every note's the same at this low an octave on our rings, apparently. Really not made to be playing bass. Still not the end of the world. Yeah, no worries. I did too until I found that little trick. It is very, very handy. And I think there's actually multiple different ways in that document of doing it too, so yeah. Let's just see if we get anything. I think that any of the other modes of rings are going to be too harsh, yeah. Tweak around with some of these settings some more, see what I can get. Dampening all the way up, brightness all the way down. The shape, generally somewhere around 10 o'clock gives you a pretty pure tone. I think I do need to actually turn brightness up a little. Isn't going to do much at this sort of level of rings usage, I don't think, but yeah, could be better, could be worse. Interesting. That's good to know. I hadn't actually noticed that with clouds at all about low notes, but I don't think that I've really typically put bass into clouds, so. try the cable. Well, fair enough. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out for the most part. It's pretty good. It's kind of, I feel like Odessa is another one of those ambient modules that it's hard to go wrong with. It just sounds really damn good most of the time. But again, that probably comes down to, as many of you know, my preference for lots of sine waves. I didn't realize that it was already that time. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to stop for tonight. Sorry, this one was a short one with all these technical issues. Hopefully next time I can sort it out. Figure out why I've got this lowered USB bandwidth and stuff like that. Maybe it's because I'm running three 1080 or three 1920 by 1080 cameras and you know, an audio interface and a stream deck and all off of this, but you know. Well, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Yeah, and so I will be back again next week, and we'll see what happens. Might be another one of these. It might be something different. We'll let you know. Yes, it was very gentle, wasn't it? Good for your headache, hopefully. Good. I'm glad you learned something. That makes me happy when I can do that for people. So, yeah, and if you have any comments about the new camera setup, let me know. Hopefully it's a little more stable and I'm not scrolling things or pointing things around all the time and having them pointed at the wrong things. I think it works out pretty good. So yeah, have a good one, everyone, and I will see you all next week, hopefully. Take care.